Okay, today we are playing a game on Rialto. We are in the Diamond SR range, and we will be playing Reinhardt the entire way through. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, Roadhog, Tracer, Widowmaker, Pharah, and Mercy. So 3 DPS, 1 healer. Unfortunately, that's not really the end of the world. The unfortunate thing is that the 1 healer is Mercy, which is less than ideal. Mercy, to me, being more of an off healer than a main healer these days, because she just doesn't do a lot of healing ever since they nerfed her healing, so not a fan of that. Ideally, Tracer would be the one to change to another healer, ideally a main healer, because Mercy just has way more synergy with Widowmaker and Pharah than she does with Tracer. So Tracer is the obvious DPS to switch to another healer, but simultaneously, Tracer players are not exactly well known for being good sports, similar to Genji, and Widowmaker, and Hanzo, and Torbjorn, and McCree, and a lot of DPS, now that I think about it, actually. Life is very hard sometimes, isn't it? So anyway, let's start the game. You'll also notice we're watching our boy on Twitch. Our boy's got a Twitch channel. He streams. He's got a schedule and everything, our boy streams, so I'll link to our boy's stream in the description as well, if you're interested in checking it out. So, we are attacking Rialto first, a very arduous experience. Nobody's been pushed off the bridge yet. It was a good day. Turns out there's a Reaper on the enemy team, we find out from the kill feed. So, something to be aware of whenever you're playing a tank, pretty much. There's a Reaper over there somewhere. And we've got to be pretty much just ready for him. So he went for the charge right there and didn't get much out of it. This is pretty much why you play Reinhardt, for like this moment right here. Excellent. Though what I always enjoy is when what I enjoy more than that is when you're pinning a man, and you pin him, but then he dies in transit, so he just falls off of you, and then you pin someone who is in front behind that man, and then you take that person to the wall. That's always the fun part to me, when the person you are pinning just disappears, and now you've got a different person you're pinning instead. But that's pretty much like why you play Reinhardt, for that moment right there. Or I guess, you know, when you land the 5 people, Earth Shatter, and then you just, you know, that's also good, I guess. Oh, bye, Reinhardt. What was that guy up to? Well, he's in the fucking river now. So, first checkpoint went pretty well. Hey, there's Reaper. Reaper's up to no good. We've got a Pharah, so hopefully Pharah can deal with that. They're missing Zen and Ashe right now, so we don't have to worry about the enemy team doing too much in the near future. We've almost got Earth Shatter built up. The enemy Reinhardt has not gotten to pin anybody or really do a lot of fighting, so we've got a pretty good lead over him right now. This is very greedy to keep swinging at this point when we're at half health. And, well, a little bit over half health, and hey, then Reaper pops out and spins next to us. If we were, you know, a bit healthier, we might have survived, but Reaper killed a bunch of people right there. Did we see him or hear? Well, I heard him, but like right before he came out, basically. No, not really. I can't hear him coming until he's like right on top of us, basically. So hey, life is hard. Mercy's decided to res Tracer. Resing anybody in that situation pretty much being the wrong play, because resing somebody over there right after that's happened is never going to do anything except maybe get the person you killed resed killed again, and maybe yourself killed. So, Mercy players love to do that. They love to res people, just kind of like, well, the fight's fucked, I'm probably gonna die, let's just see if I can res someone and see what happens. And it's not gonna do anything except probably just kill the person again, you know? I've never understood that mentality that Mercy players have. Well, let's just see. Let's just see if I can get a res off in this fucked situation. Anyway, so Ryan's probably at this point pretty close to having Earth Shatter. Given how aggro he's playing, he probably has Earth Shatter, which is indeed what he did have, because suddenly he's just like running up, swinging at us, like when he does that right there, I'm like, he's got Earth Shatter, and he's trying to bait us into using it, right? Bait us into getting an Earth Shatter right there. He did hit the Roadhog behind us, but I don't think he hit anybody else. It's kind of hard to tell. He definitely hit Roadhog. This is a pretty optimistic Earth Shatter to me, just because I'm never a big fan of, like, using Earth Shatter when the guy's got his shield up, pretty much. But he takes it down. So we get the Earth Shatter off. Unfortunately, we are way not healthy enough to actually charge in right there, because we just took a bunch of damage prior to using the Earth Shatter, and we've only got Mercy as our healer right now, so we ain't about to suddenly get healed while we're going in on that fight, so would have been better to just play more passively, pretty much, and, like, try and block the Earth Shatter. Alright, Earth Shatter went off. Try and, like, Earth Shatter, like, if he tries to capitalize on the Earth Shatter, then, like, counter Earth Shatter him pretty much as they're running forward, but otherwise, just play more passively, because even if we get, like, an Earth Shatter, it has to be, like, literally their whole team for us to be in a position to capitalize on it, which is not what we got right there. So, Farah just picked off their Reinhardt, and Widowmaker managed to pick off Zenyatta. So suddenly, hey, they're pretty fucked. We get to do a lot of I hate that Tracer skin. I just saw fucking Tracer. I'm like, fucking Beekeeper Tracer over here. That's just what it looks like when you're behind her, pretty much. I hate that Tracer skin. Tracer is like got like a lot of bad skins though, doesn't she? Like fucking Goth Tracer skin. Oh god, it's almost as bad as the Goth Zarya skin. Oh god, Zarya's got some real bad skins too, but she's also got some really good skins at the same time, so it evens out, I guess. So we suddenly took a lot of damage. Yeah, we were on fire, you know. Continuing to swing while on fire is a little bit scary. Oh no, here comes Reaper. Oh, big try, but didn't manage to get him. Yeah, we're pretty fucked. Everything kind of fell apart real fast. Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough to go in swinging at the guy, and then we just end up, like, taking a big brunt of damage, pretty much. We're like, oh no, here comes Reaper. Reaper got Widow behind us. When did he get Widow behind us? He basically get her and then, like, immediately appear next to us? Not quite, no, but more or less. Yeah, life is hard sometimes, pretty much. It's fair enough to go swinging at the guy. It's just then Ashe, like, hits us, we're on fire, we suddenly take a big brunt of damage. At the point where we're on fire, we do know Ashe is, like, nearby, and Ashe is gonna do a lot of damage if she gets, like, a headshot in on us, and we're playing a tank, so it's pretty easy to get a headshot in, so at that point, there's more cause to be cautious at that point, pretty much, once we know Ashe is in the area, because Ashe will do a lot of damage to us very quickly. So half their team's dead right now. This is extremely greedy maneuver, mostly because I can see Zen's charging in the corner right now. So, like, it's a very optimistic charge because we have to go so far to get the guy. We can see Zen's charging, so he's in position to, like, do a big chunk of damage to us if these hit us. And Reinhardt's still right over there. So, like, we do this, and then Reinhardt, like, tries to pin us. Doesn't work out. Did it? We did take a lot of damage right there. No, it didn't pin. Okay. I was like, am I just, like, missing here? Like, suddenly we took a lot of damage. No. So it's a very greedy play to go for, pretty much. This is a terrible use of company resources, using the grav right there. No. Absolutely. That's almost as bad. Almost. She did at least, like, lead to 2 people dying, but... yeah, so that was a very optimistic and greedy charge, which we didn't end up getting punished for, because they were in no position to do so. But if Ryan had actually, like, pinned us, we're fucking dead. If Zen gets more shots in while we're charging in, we're fucking dead. So we didn't get punished for it, but we stood to get more punished for that. That was a pretty good reaction. Like, that guy's got pretty good reactions right there. He did not have a lot of warning that we were coming to push that button, but he did it. And now we're in a pretty bad spot. I'm mostly just impressed by Zen, to be honest with you. I'm not even mad. That guy, he reacted pretty good to that. We didn't know Reaper was in there ahead of time, because it's the fact Reaper's in here that makes this very scary, you know, shockingly enough. But we didn't know he was in there ahead of time, so... The charge was still, quite, greedy. Didn't need to go for the charge. We were in a position where we could play it more cautiously than that, pretty much. And at this point, most of our team's dead. This Earth Shatter has to be fucking phenomenal to actually convert into anything, and it was not fucking phenomenal, so it didn't convert into anything. Just hold it in that case. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes. I was just listening to Mercy, basically just saying that somebody could please pick Zen, but, you know, people, you know, they don't really like to play the non-DPS roles too much, you know? Yeah, where's our team? Yeah, they're not that far behind. Okay. So, we used our Shatter. Ryan, I don't think he's used his in a while. I haven't kept super close track of his, to be honest with you. I keep getting distracted by other foolishness, so we are being, like, pretty greedy, just running in and, like, swinging into the guy like this, because our team's not exactly in an incredible position right now, and we do literally just, like, stand there swinging into the guy, and we take a lot of damage while we're doing that. It looks like Widow is getting fucking bullied by Moira, which is very tragic indeed, but hey, you know, I've bullied quite a few people as Moira in my day as well. It's still very, very unfortunate. We shouldn't be this far up right now. Half our team's dead, so nothing's happening. We're just standing out here, like, letting our shield take damage, holding it up pretty much, risking getting picked off, because we gotta wait for our teammates to get back. We're going in right now, like, they aren't back yet. They'll be back soon, but they aren't back yet. We haven't actually even looked back to see if they're there yet. They are getting here now, but we were still, like, very aggressively positioned for waiting for our team to regroup still. So this is not a great angle to be standing at, because the whole point is to be blocking damage for our teammates. The angle we're standing in right now is only really blocking damage for us and Zarya, pretty much. And, you know, our teammates are probably going to try and follow in the archway behind us, that being the obvious place to follow from. We need to be standing like this to block that. We're not actually doing that. We're standing like this instead. So Zarya is, like, right behind us, but Mercy, it looks like she's a little bit off to the side right now, so she's not being blocked. And anybody following the archway behind us would also not be getting blocked right now. So we're not positioning great for if our team is following us, pretty much. We're standing off to the side rather than actually covering. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. I've never seen that one happen before. I was like, wait, did we die? Did he die? Did anybody die? No, nobody died. Okay. So, anyway, if our team's following us through the archway right there, we're not actually blocking for them, which is the whole point of playing Reinhardt, pretty much. So this is an extremely dramatic reaction from their Reinhardt, and to be honest with you, I'm like, feel free, dude, like, whatever, you want to use that ultimate just on me, you're more than welcome to. Now you don't get to use that during the next team fight, and you used it during a real fucked situation. That was pretty incredible. I was just one of those situations where, like, what happened? Who's dead? Is anybody dead? So now we've got our Earth Shatter. We know with 100% certainty he does not have his. And he takes his shield down to swing at us. Easy money. Very scary. Reaper getting to basically just run the show. Like, Reaper is the main issue we're having this game. And, you know, we've got Pharah. Pharah can counter Reaper, but, like, it's not really working out. Yeah, spelling, but, you know, message gets across. At this point, I want someone to just pick McCree also, because, like, evidently we need somebody that can just, like, crowd control and bully the Reaper around, right? And we got Pharah is the Reaper bully right now, but Reaper is still just getting to do shit pretty much. So, you know, McCree, Bridget, someone that could make Reaper's life more difficult, because right now, like, Reaper's the problem we're having. We got pinned. Were we fire striking? We started fire striking, didn't we? That was the start of the animation. Yeah, we started fire striking. Gotta be careful when you start fire striking right next to the enemy Reinhardt, because if he decides to use pin at that moment, it's like rock, paper, scissors. Pin beats fire strike, because you definitely can't countercharge him right then and there. Okay. It's a bit of a mess. Did he put his shield up when we did that? No, I've had that happen. He's not gonna put it up now. Fuck, he did. I've had that one happen. So, you know, that feels bad. What I will say is, this isn't really a great time to use Earth Shatter anyway, because half our team's dead. So, you know, because Widow died right there, and then Mercy Tracer died right there. We would have to react fairly quickly to seeing them both die, but we did have feasible time to react to the fact they died. And we'd already lost someone, so I'm already kind of thinking, like, do I want to use Earth Shatter right now? So we actually decided to change to Lucio, but then we're like, no, I can't. Yeah, we couldn't. We did just use Earth Shatter, so we didn't drop any ult charge by doing that, at least. It's, you know, it's the thing in life, right? If you're thinking about switching, and you've got any ult charge at all at the time, really think about if you're gonna switch before you switch, because I've seen that happen a lot of times, where people are like, I've done it as well, where I've been like, oh, I'm gonna switch to someone, oh fuck, I've got like 80% charge, don't switch back in time, drop all that ult charge on the ground. If you're gonna switch, be like sure you're gonna switch before you do so. Unless you just use your ult, unless you've just used your ult, then it doesn't really matter. So we're swinging into this boy right now. The scary thing with swinging into the Graviton is this guy's got to be pretty close to having Earth Shatter right now, because we haven't seen him use it in a while. He pinned us in the previous fight, so that's a big chunk of ult charge. So he's probably pretty close. And he used Earth Shatter right there, and things go, you know, not great for us. If the enemy Reinhardt's in the Grav, and you think he's got Earth Shatter, sometimes you can't really swing into the Grav. It is a very easy situation to bait the Earth Shatter out of them, though, because the Reinhardt in the Graviton is always looking to use Earth Shatter to counter the Graviton. So it's a very easy bait, because he'll see you start swinging and be like, oh, he's just going to swing into the Grav, because why the fuck wouldn't he, right? So you can just, like, run up to the Grav, give it one fake swing, and almost, like, not 100% of the time, but pretty close to 100% of the time, you'll take their Earth Shatter from them right there, if they've got it. But personally, like, I like to play very defensively, you know, if you know me, you'll be like, fuck off. No, you don't, but I do like to play very defensively when playing Reinhardt, because just the penalty for, like, not blocking the enemy Reinhardt's Earth Shatter is so very severe that, like, if I'm just not sure the guy's got the Earth Shatter, if I see him in the Graviton, I'm just gonna hold the shield up to the Graviton. Like, I don't want to risk it, pretty much. Because usually they don't need you to swing into the Grav, honestly, to get the kills, so, like, I like to minimize risk when playing Reinhardt. So that's pretty sick. That's always nice when you juggle the guy back into the pin. That's always very fun. Not for the person that gets pinned. They are always very upset. But that's part of why it's so fun for the Reinhardt, though. So, hey, that was a pretty good first push. No, for a pretty good first defense. It was not a good first push. It was a good first push from our perspective, though. And that's the only perspective that really matters. Don't need to put the shield up right now. I mean, I know we're, like, mostly full shield right now, but, like, don't need to have the shield up right there. Could just be regenerating. And it's, like, missing 95 damage, 85 damage. So, like, whatever, right? But, like, yeah, didn't need to have it up. Could have been regenerating during that period. Shield management's very important. So, yes, Fire Strike. We started Fire Striking. Oh no, we'd finished Fire Striking by that point. It was gonna have to be a pretty good reaction, but if you're right next to the Reinhardt, like, countercharging's a big deal. I personally like to just listen to the sound effect of Reinhardt starting to charge, cause not great. Not a good time to use Earth Shatter. a few of our teammates dead, we're in a real fucked up spot. It's gonna have to be a real sick Earth Shatter from that spot. Wasn't a real sick Earth Shatter. I'd rather just save it for the next fight at that point. I like to listen to the sound effect for Reinhardt using Charge or Earth Shatter as well. There's actual science to it where human beings are better reacting to things audibly rather than visually. The time to react for audio versus visual is something like, I think it was like 0.3 seconds faster on average for audio, something like that. But I like to just listen for the sound effect of Reinhardt starting to charge, and then, like, if he's anywhere, like, in front of me, pretty much, I'll just push charge to counter charge. Because the risk of getting pinned is pretty bad, and even if you can get out of the way of the Reinhardt, you've got to bear in mind who's behind me at the time, right? So you can dodge and end up getting somebody behind you killed instead. So, it's like a lot of Reinhardt players are like really cagey about countercharging. They don't like to do it, but like it's usually good to do. Like it's very rarely a bad thing to do because again, it negates risk. But I think the worry is that most Reinhardt players are like, if I countercharge the guy, I'm stunned too. The thing is though, if you're countercharging the guy, you're almost always closer to your team than the enemy team. So like if he charges up to you, you're in front of your team, both get crowd controlled. He's stunned in front of your team, and you're stunned in front of your team. So, like, he should die, and you should live, by all accounts. Doesn't always work out that way. It's just something I've noticed with a lot of Reinhardt players, not really specifically for this game. That was more of like a reaction thing with that one, but now I'm just, like, meandering to a different point. It's just something I've noticed with Reinhardt players. Reinhardt players really don't like to countercharge for some reason, but it's just like, you know, one of those things that negates risk, and it's like, usually results in the other Reinhardt dying, like if it wasn't a good charge, pretty much. So hey, they're all in the graph right now. We wanted to go up and swing, but we were real low health. We died, but this is still a fine enough Earth Shatter because they were starting to scatter at that point. Reaper again being very inconvenient for our team, not as bad in that spot, but he did kill our Mercy. We have another healer now. I've seen Anna, so not that bad. This is mad greedy. We did pivot good enough to get into the door frame, so that's great, but that was still a very greedy pin to go for. Could he have countercharged? Well, he started fire striking right there, so he might not have his charge right now. That might be completely safe. The fear would be getting countercharged over there. Would be a bad spot to get stunned in, but he probably didn't have his charge right there, and he started fire striking as well. So hey, yeah, we got pinned again. Could have countercharged. You gotta be ready to react, pretty much. Listen for that sound effect, and half our team's dead. We're nano boosted, so that's pretty sick, but. We were going for some, like, real aggro plays, and then the getting pinned was really bad, but we were going, like, really aggro at the time as well. The thing that's scary to me about going, like, really aggro on the enemy team right now is that will, in turn, cause our team to be more spread apart, because we're gonna be running up, then, like, the Zarya and any other, like, people that want to get in the fight will follow us up, so, like, our front line's going to get more spread out from the back line, and Reaper's been causing such problems for our team so far that, like, us playing really aggro right now is going to have this effect of, like, stretching our team out. And I don't know why, but I really want to make the comparison of, like, an accordion for some reason. I don't know why, but, like, you know, that's why I'm doing this motion constantly as well. For some reason, I've just been thinking about an accordion the whole, like, how can I work in an analogy, like, right here? We're going forward, and then, like, the rest of our team is spreading out, because some of them are following us, some of them still want to stay further back, and that just makes it easier for Reaper to jump in, spin, and kill people while we're more spread out. So that's the thing that's scary about going, like, really aggro. Sometimes you walk around to get corner and get pinned. Life is hard. Sometimes you can walk around a corner and get hit by a whole fucking tree because there's a Hanzo on the enemy team, right? Life is hard like that sometimes. But that's the scary thing about going real aggro. right now is that Reaper's been causing us such problems this game that spreading our team out is going to make things easier for him, and he's already having a pretty free run of the game, pretty much. So we're coming back up now. We got Earthshatter. 2 of their team died. One of them is Reinhardt, so by all accounts, this fight should be pretty easy, because now they don't even have anybody that can block Earthshatter if we need to use it. Reaper's going in pretty hard for them over there. They're probably fine. Unless, you know, something catastrophic happened. It didn't. Everything's well. Hooray. So we've got Earthshatter. I think he's got Earthshatter. I don't remember him using it. That doesn't mean he doesn't have it, but... So, no need to use Fire Strike right now, because we've got Earthshatter built up right now. There's no reason to use Fire Strike when you've got Earthshatter built up, unless you think the Fire Strike will kill someone. In which case, by all means. But Fire Strike is basically for building up Earthshatter. So once you've got Earthshatter, there's no reason to use Fire Strike unless it's going to kill somebody. Because if we do it like right in front of the enemy Reinhardt, that gives him an opportunity to Earthshatter our team, because that's like one of the easiest ways to get an Earthshatter past the enemy Reinhardt, is like, that guy uses Fire Strike a lot. As soon as I see him start using Fire Strike, I push Q. So that's so you give him more opportunities to Earthshatter your team. And if we Fire Strike while we're like right in front of the guy, like this, then there's another opportunity for him to pin us, because, you know, rock, paper, scissors, charge beats Fire Strike. So, no need to use Fire Strike right there. Especially when we're in, like, kind of a scary spot. So this is mad ambitious. Again, I don't like, we're pretty much just like, he's going to take down his shield now. The thing is, though, if I'm that Reinhardt, I never take my shield down right now. Because, 2 reasons. First off, I'm purple. So I don't want to take my shield down while I'm purple, because I can't be healed, and then take my shield down, I'm going to take some damage. Other reason, I see Moira's using Coalescence behind me. And if I'm that Reinhardt, I'm paying attention. I'm like, he's probably got Earthshatter right now. And Moira using Coalescence behind me, I'm like, that guy wants to Earthshatter right now to stop Moira from using her ultimate. So if I'm that Reinhardt right now, I never take my shield down in this situation. So pretty much the only dream we have is like slipping it around the corner. We did manage to get Lucio by doing that, but that was it. And it ended up not actually converting into anything. So I didn't like going for the Earthshatter there either. So we went like a million miles away. They're going to capture the point. It's not like us not going a million miles away was ever going to stop that from happening. Well, yeah. Alright, we don't watch the play of the game. Ooh, 133 loot boxes, damn. Oh, is there anything in the looking for group? Oh, we didn't look in the looking for group. Almost certainly no, but I was curious to see. So, thing that stood out that most that game, some of it seemed like kind of tilty towards the end. Like, we suddenly started going like real aggro at kind of like any moment, pretty much. The thing that stood out the most was pretty much we didn't get a whole lot of value out of Earthshatter. We went for some very optimistic ones. I don't like using it when the guy's holding his shield up in front of me, because at that point you're going for a very hard read. You're like, he is taking his shield down right now. And if he doesn't, you end up being very sad. So I don't like doing that. I like to just wait for them to do something, pretty much. Like, it's not hard to really, like, I find it's very easy that if you just play very defensively, it's very easy to eventually find an opportunity to Earthshatter the enemy Reinhardt. Because just how Reinhardt players are, pretty much. Like, when they've got Earthshatter, they're looking to use Earthshatter. And they'll do some real wacky shit to try and get that in there. And, like, I'll just wait for them to hang themselves, pretty much. Because they almost invariably do. The longer I sit waiting, the more antsy they get. And the more willing they are to just try anything to get an Earthshatter in. And I'm just going to block it, because I'm just committed to playing defensively right now, because I think you've got Earthshatter. And then eventually, he does it, and then I just counter Earthshatter immediately after I block his. And then easy peasy. But I don't like going for it when the shield is up. Bare minimum. I like to wait for them to do something. Like, I'll wait, and that guy's using Fire Strike pretty much on cooldown. So I'll just, like, see him use Fire Strike, and then count to 6 in my head, and I'm like, alright, it's coming. It's coming. And then when I see the animation start, I just slap the key. I Going for it with the shield up is like real optimistic. I don't like doing that. You're going for a very hard read, and sometimes you can go for the hard read, you know, but it's very scary to do that. So there was that. We in general played very aggro. I think we ended up having gold damage by the end of that game, which is not that hard to do when you're playing Reinhardt, to be honest with you. We played very aggro. We didn't always get punished for it, but we stood to get punished for more than we did get punished for. We went for a lot of earth shatters in situations that things were going very badly. Also, like using it when we're already missing people on our team, which doesn't necessarily mean the earth shatter can't win the fight, but like when you're down team members, like it's gonna have to be a very good earth shatter for it to win you the fight. Then there was like we got like backed into the corner on the first checkpoint defense. We went through the earth shatter over there, so that was not a good time to do it either. And just in general, playing very aggressive. I'm not a fan of playing very aggressively on Reinhardt, to be honest with you. I like to minimize risk as much as possible, because it's just the way I look at it, where I like to look at it as like, what do I stand to gain, and what do I stand to lose? And the thing is with playing Reinhardt, is that what you stand to gain is always something like a little bit of extra damage, right? Like 75 extra damage in there because I spent a little bit more time swinging, right? Or I went through another fire strike or something like that. You add in like a little bit more damage. That's what you stand to gain most of the time. But what you stand to lose by playing aggro is the entire fight, right? So it's like, I look at it from that perspective where it's just like, you know, I can do a little bit of extra damage right now, and sometimes that matters, but I prefer to edge on the side of like, well, if I go for this greedy extra bit of damage right now and I get punished, my team loses the fight. So I like to minimize the risk as much as possible and just play very defensive and wait for the enemy team to do something I can punish instead. That's so much more my style. Wait for them to fuck up and then punish them, rather than go aggro trying to force them into something. I'll just let them hang themselves. People who play Overwatch, people who play Reinhardt in particular, I don't usually have to wait too long for them to do something. Right? They'll do it before too long. So that was what stood out the most there. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. Again, I'll link our boys' stream in the description if you want to go check it out. I think Monday, Wednesday, and weekends, I think. He had a schedule, so you can go check that out. What was I going to say? So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just ship post with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description as well. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.